Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I'm sharing my full review, the digitally digested segment for the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. This action camera retails for roughly $700 at the time of this review. I'll include an affiliate link in the description for those of you interested in picking one up. And in full disclosure, this was not furnished to me by GoPro for review purposes, but rather I purchased it. And I have to tell you, I was absolutely convinced I would be keeping it, because after seeing what video looked like out of this, not so much stills, but video, and the 32-bit float audio on board being excellent, better than any action camera I'd ever seen. You're getting 8K 60, 8K 30 open gate, so you're using the entire sensor. You've got a gorgeous OLED display. You've got the durability of GoPro, 4K 240, that is the cleanest I have ever seen from any consumer camera, not just an action camera, so that's really impressive. And then you get nearly 1,000 frames in 10-second bursts at 1080p, which again is the cleanest nearly 1,000 frames I've ever seen from a consumer camera. Forget about an action cam. So it beats its competition easily, but again, it's the largest and most expensive action camera ever. So that sounds like I should be telling you to run out and buy it, especially if you love action cams, right? Well, that's why I purchased it. I've been waiting for something like this, especially after all the surgery I've had, and my ability to carry heavier gear, camera gear, has become very challenging, in fact, nearly impossible. So the idea of this, which many have called heavy, but I scoff at that because this is a dream for me, being a pocketable solution, truly pocketable, that can give me, best-in-class video, not just for an action camera, but compared to many real cameras, borderline getting to that mirrorless realm, that's amazing. But we have two major things that that prevent me from recommending it, that I can't do it in not just good faith, but from a buyer's remorse perspective, and I'll explain that now. So number one, GoPro, as you know, is struggling to survive. They're facing borderline bankruptcy at this point. The founder just threw them a $20 or $25 million lifeline, but that really wasn't a lifeline. That was just, a news story, frankly, because they need much more than that to stay alive. And they're not getting the financing. They're on the verge of being delisted, so you won't even be able to buy their shares publicly anymore. And I do believe someone will acquire them for the brand, but that doesn't mean your warranty will be honored. So in essence, while I've told you this is the best action camera you can buy, even with the 24-inch problem, the close focus issue, which I haven't gotten into yet, that is a major, major problem. And I would never recommend a product that you may not have warranty on in the very near future. But even if you are willing to look past that, which, trust me, I thought about doing it. That's how good this product is. Video, audio, durability, all the things it should be. Battery life. The issue is what we just saw with the Luna Ultra. Now, just recently, now it's about a month ago or so, Insta360 launched this guy. And yes, it's a gimbal camera. I'm not comparing a gimbal camera to an action camera. Many reviewers do. I think that's ridiculous. Yes, similar price point, $770, $700, but that's not why I brought this out. I brought this out because what this did was give us a taste of what Insta360 is capable of with a 1-inch sensor. And the last time that we saw that was this guy. Again, the Insta360 1R, a modular action camera with a 1-inch sensor like a glass, I should say lens, or marketing partnership, whatever you want to call it. And this was, at the time, in my opinion, the best action camera on the market, and really gave me that modern RX0 from Sony that Sony never made. And hopefully Sony will still do that. Maybe they'll realize there is a market for a new RX0. I can only hope. And they have all the IP to do it. Anyway, I digress. In comes this guy, right? And all of a sudden we've got a new standard, new price point. But then when we see what the Luna Ultra is capable of, they pretty much, they being Insta360, rewrote the entire playbook for what a gimbal camera was capable of, and that gives you a very good indication of what they are capable of with a 1-inch sensor, likely moving into an action camera again. After all, the Ace Pro 2 has been on the market for quite a while, so we're due an Ace Pro 3 at any moment, literally in the next 3 months, I would imagine, and I don't have inside information, even though I do have a working relationship with Insta. It's just common sense based on their product release cycles. So while the Ace Pro 1 and 2 are still on the market and are still excellent options, the 3 is right around the corner. So with that in mind, it's just nearly impossible for me to recommend this guy knowing that in the next 3 months, you're probably going to see an Ace Pro 3 that will have a 1-inch sensor and will, in my opinion, definitely knock this guy out of the water. I'm not saying it'll be better than it in every single category, but the general stuff that make people happy, I think it will beat it on, and I think it will beat it on price. But even if it's the exact same price, the Ace Pro 3 is likely to be better. The software support will be better, and the company isn't going out of business. So that should be enough, and we already have a really good indication of how amazing the video quality will be. So just something to think about. Now, if you're willing to look past, again, the possibility of bankruptcy and no warranty, and then the buyer's remorse setting in of the Ace Pro 3 likely having a 1-inch sensor and blowing this camera out of the water and likely doing it for less, then, the one thing you need to know right now is that if you try to vlog with this or shoot anything within 24 inches of this lens, single focus device, you are not going to have anything in focus that you're trying to get in focus, because it's going to just put your background in focus. And it's literally just the design of the camera. You really shouldn't be shocked about this. I'm not excusing it, but everyone who's buying this and saying, I tried to vlog with it and I'm out of focus, what the hell? It's an action camera. So it is not designed to be a vlogging device. Now, I know GoPro marketed it as a cinema camera, so I get the frustration, especially, if you're a regular consumer and you just expected it to work. In all likelihood, GoPro is going to release a lens for this that will resolve that. But regardless, I would say, even with taking into account that it's not really a shortcoming, it's just part of it being an action camera, I still think, as I've stated through this video, nothing beats it. Now, a lot of reviewers like to say, well, I could get 2 Ace Pros or 2 DJIs for the price of one of these. I don't get that argument. This reminds me of the RX1 Mark III video I just did, where, again, people start comparing what they could get for $5,100 versus that camera, and they lose sight of what the product is actually intended to be. So, yes, you could get 2 competing products for the price of one of these, and the quality would be good from both DJI and Insta360, but it would not be as good as this. So I guess the point I'm making is that if your goal is to have the absolute creme de la creme of video quality in an action camera, getting 2 Insta360 Ace Pro 2s isn't going to achieve that. Now, if you've looked at the video side by side and you feel that the difference is negligible, or you can tell this is better but not by enough that you'd care, then by all means, go out and get the Ace Pro 2. But I am not going to tell you you should buy 2 of them. I don't need to make a jarring point to make the point. It's as simple as, this is the best, it's the most expensive. That's not the reason you should be worried. And hopefully I've made that abundantly clear. This is the reason you should be worried. And I'm not even getting entangled in DJI at all, because, again, with them being banned from U.S. sales, that's another warranty question mark, and I don't even get why so many reviewers are covering their products other than because they're on payroll. And I don't mean that literally, but certainly people are buying it from overseas to review it, and they're not working with DJI. But I don't really get that either. I don't want to recommend any products to any of you, even if they're advantageous, that have no support in the U.S. I'm not saying you can't do that. Certainly you can. And if it really, not to go too far off topic, if it really blew away this product, maybe I'd be talking about it like that. But that's just not the case. And the same applies with action cameras. So, yes, it's nice to have competition and choice, but these days, these are the choices right here. And yes, DJI products that were already on shelves prior to them getting banned are still available and still have warranties, but man, you can't even install the app. I mean, that's been that way for years. So you got to sideload the app, and too many people pretend like this is not a big deal. So there's definitely something nice about having an American company for a change. So I hope that GoPro can work it out. I hope they get a parachute from someone and the company is saved, because they're finally doing something that is worth recognition, worth buying. I mean, I have never covered a GoPro product because, when they started, I remember looking at their products and saying, who's going to buy these? Yes, for extreme action, skiers, the daredevils, there's a space for that, extreme sports. But for everyday people, it's like it had potato quality. Then as it got better, Insta360 and DJI just blew it out of the water and undercut the pricing. And sure, they didn't have the brand recognition that GoPro did. They still don't. But we know what happened to the market. There's a reason GoPro is teetering and they're on the brink. It's because DJI and Insta ate their lunch. And that's because they sat on their hands too long and, solely relied on brand recognition. The only company that gets away with that is Apple. Any other company that tries to do that, generally it's the beginning of the end. And well, that's the story of GoPro. And look, maybe Apple should buy them because, hey, they're kindred spirits, except one worked out and the other one is about to fail. So I'm not even going to comment on the interchangeable lens version of this because I think that's comical at best. I think this is the best product they've ever made, and it will be sad if this is the end. Now, stills I haven't talked about because there's really nothing to talk about there. A dream device like this would be one where the stills actually are worth talking about, but between the close focus limitations and then the fact that the stills out of this are mediocre at best, not a hell of a lot to brag about there. And that's why this is all about video. I would argue that, a lot of these consumer cameras that are coming out now that don't have great video features like the Lumix L10, cameras that basically throw IBIS out the window, if you have something like this with you on vacation, that's all you need because it will take care of all of your video needs. It's that good. It won't look like action cam footage. So that is a really appealing feature of this camera. But because it has everything. It's got the 32-bit float, as I mentioned, on board. It has all the video modes you can want. It has, I didn't even mention that it's 10-bit video at that, but of course it is. And they even introduced their new GP Log 2 for that, RAW-esque flat profile. There's LUT support, of course HDR, and the bitrate natively on this, peak on the camera, is 240 megabits per second, which is amazing for an action camera, and I believe you can push it up even more if your heart desires through their software. I don't see any reason to do that. I think the law of diminishing returns kind of kicks in at that point, but overall, I love shooting 8K 60 on this, but the real secret weapon, again, is having that 8K 30 open gate full use of the sensor, 4:3 aspect ratio, because whether you're going to turn that into vertical or landscape content, you're ready. And it just saves you time in post, and with this quality, it makes sense. The 159-degree wide-angle lens on here, I think, is good. It's what you expect. f2.8. It's not, again, really about that shining as much as it is the pairing of it with the 1-inch sensor, and they've done a great job. They really have. And for this all to come in at 207 grams, yeah, bigger and heavier and more expensive, like I've been saying, than anything before it, but it's the best, folks. Let's just hope that GoPro's not literally just, remembered for the GoPro mount, but that this camera is the beginning of them turning it around. I don't see that happening. I hope. I also didn't mention that this little guy comes with it because it's there to reduce, flare. Better than not having it. I think it's also because they wanted it to look like a little cinema camera. It's cute, but, whether you use it, it works, but it's not critical. And, as I mentioned before, the software with this, it's fine, but it does not stand up to Insta. I won't say DJI because you can't even download that anymore, but it's just, these are things you need to know stepping into this. So, again, to recap, it's an excellent camera. It's worth the asking price, but between the possibility of GoPro going out of business and knowing that we're literally in the same quarter likely that Insta360 is going to drop their update, I would at least wait until we see what Insta drops, and that's the bonus here. That's why I'm returning this, because when that Insta360 camera comes out, if I'm wrong and it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, then by all means, I'm probably going to pick this right back up. So Insta, do us a favor, drop whatever you're going to reveal. DJI, I will likely avoid, as I mentioned, simply because of what's going on until that gets straightened out and they're not considered and involved in espionage. I really have no desire to play around with the possibility of losing my money. And that's another reason, I wouldn't compare this either. Granted, I just said earlier, gimbals really aren't comparable to action cams, but, this was best in class when it launched. They have a new version now. You can get this for around $500 now, I think it's like $440. It's a great buy, but it's not an action cam. So again, a good example of what you can do with a 1-inch sensor, but really not relevant. So if this could shoot stills in a way that was meaningful, which, by the way, the Luna Ultra can. That's why it's so magical, is that I see the potential from Insta to master stills and video in an action camera, which would revolutionize the space. I had hoped this was going to do that. But the reality is that this camera still can't replace my RX100 or the ZV when it comes to still photography. But as I mentioned, it does take care of video. So if you're traveling, another cool scenario that I think makes sense is that while these can shoot video that's perfectly fine, I mean, this one's designed to be a vlogging tool, right? But stabilization is pretty much terrible in both. You bring something like this. So you have this for all of your still needs, still camera first, and also shooting stills with this is not at all intuitive. These are still cameras. The design is there. You know, it makes sense, this more than this. So I feel like if you have these two on vacation or with your family in general, wherever you're going, whatever the adventure is, stills in one body, video in the other, and you really don't need anything else. And that's an amazing thing that I don't think I could have even necessarily imagined a few years ago. So I'm just glad this happened. It will, at the very least, usher in new competition. And as I said, if Insta doesn't launch a 1-inch sensor action camera this gen, I think it's coming. And I have to say, even if they don't, they're probably going to get the quality really close to what GoPro was able to do here because, as I mentioned before, even looking at Ace Pro 2 footage compared to this, they're already really, really close. But ultimately, the king of the hill, there can only be one, and right now that is GoPro, even if it's just for a moment. And I'm glad they did it because, again, I probably would have never reviewed a single GoPro product in the history of my channel, and that's because, again, they just didn't do anything to push the envelope except create the envelope, which is still a good thing. But that's another reason it's very much, in my opinion, likened to Apple in my mind because they started the game with smartphones and tablets and they allowed other companies to really do the innovating. But kudos to GoPro for making this. I will be buying it if no one outperforms it in the next 3 months because it is a dream camera for me. And GoPro, please fix the close focus issue, release the mod that you need to. Everybody's waiting for it because that will change this. I'm worried something's wrong, that they haven't done it other than their financial problems because that is probably the biggest critique of this camera. So why wouldn't they have released it yet? That's one of those questions that it does concern me. But that pretty much covers it. The only thing I didn't mention, which is pretty important, is that native water resistance. So you can take this down and it's really impressive, 20 meters without an enclosure. Another reason that I love this thing. I mean, I'm a certified scuba diver. Now that, I've had all this surgery, I'm never going diving again. But in my life prior to all of these problems, this is another dream for me. I mean, to be able to dive with this, granted, I'd still want to put it in an enclosure, but to know that I wouldn't need one necessarily for, most diving, especially if I was doing it with my wife who was not certified, because you can only go so deep, obviously. That is where something like this is just amazing. So, again, I said kudos a few times. GoPro deserves it. I just wish you guys had done this 5 years ago. Maybe you wouldn't be in peril like you are today. But that pretty much rounds things out. I'll be looking for this on discount if Insta fails me. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. And please stay safe. Later.